Hi guys, so this is my thoughts of Interview with the Vampire, AMC, on TV. So these are my thoughts on, Interview with the Vampire. Now I wasn't sure when it first came out about the story and the way they changed the characters, but it is what it is and I loved it. So to begin with, you had Louis. Louis was a pimp in New Orleans, and he ran a brothel. And pimp, yeah. And he had a little brother called Paul. Now, Paul was religious, but something not right about Paul. But Louis loved his brother, no matter what. And Louis met this guy called Lestat. Now, they always met at night, which, spoiler warning, vampire, is a good idea. But as Lestat and Louis spend quite a time together, getting to know each other, that is because the night before, in the daytime, you work off the night before, being drunk and all. So they've been hanging out, going for meals. Lestat's been courting them. As Louis is a black man in New Orleans in the 19th century, 1900s. Everyone talks down to him. So they fight over the whore called Lily. And that's how they meet. And they begin their courtship. So they start off with that. And then Paul, Louis' brother, throws himself off the house and dies. So it goes to a funeral. Before this, Louis and Lestat slept together, had sex, doing the devil.
Road stop. In time, Louis. Patience, Louis. Ask me next week, Louis.
You started hanging out.
He was in love with my city and wanted to know everything he could about it.
So you played docent to the gentleman vampire.
He had not revealed his vampire nature yet.
I'm assuming you only met at night.
It's New Orleans. Days are for sleeping off the previous evening's damage.
Perfect cover for a vampire.
Racing ahead again, Mr. Malloy. Let the tale seduce you. Just as I was seduced. Money would arrive wired from France, and the shopkeepers who would usually close at sunset were very happy to accommodate him. He ransacked the import houses to furnish his townhouse, ravaged the booksellers of their oldest volumes for a library, and, with encouragement, updated his wardrobe to the fashion trends of the season. It was a cold winter that year, and Lestat was my coal fire. And I found myself for the very first time, to anyone other than Paul, confiding my struggles to another man. I was being hunted, and I was completely unaware it was happening.
Tango, and it led to more. Then when Louis' brother died, at the funeral, he's blaming himself. His mom blames him. Everyone blames him for his brother's death. And he's like, I took him on the roof. It's not my fault. He fucking fell threw himself off. The stat is like, the fuck? Hello, we spent one night together and you fucked off. This is not on. So then Louis runs to a church and hides there. And guess who comes looking for him? Lestat comes looking for him. Said, baby, I know you're upset and I know everything else, but how do you fancy becoming my companion? My man, my hubby, my life partner. So Louis goes, alright then, sure. So then they spend 20 years together and all good. Louis can't bring himself to eat people, so he eats animals, where Lestat doesn't give a flying fuck, and you know, he's a bisexual king, so he goes to he, her, and they have a whole fight about it, and then they go over that, and then they start a race war, that Louis accidentally does, so then, as becoming a vampire, he can hear people's thoughts, so then he hears little girl's voice, dying in the fire, so he kicks in the door, saves her.
I don't know where to bite. Her body's all
Claudia.
charred.
No, you can do
And
this.
they become her
And
parents.
she'll be what?
So Louis
A lapdog.
becomes
Not a dog.
her dad. Lestat becomes her uncle.
Back in the car, Claudia.
Claudia! 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 Claudia!
Hey, no.
I met Victor once.
Claudia.
I'm sorry.
What did I just say?
Don't eat cops.
I'm tired. I'm not so kind.
Where are the vampires at?
C'est toi qui lui as fait ça?
C'est une fille curieuse.
They speak in French. They gon' fight now.
Rencontrer un adolescent. Tout ça qu'ils font, c'est remettre en question l'existence.
I wear better, though.
Don't do something he would do.
I'm gonna tell Uncle Les you talk. But we're immortal!
You can still smash your pretty little head and it take long months to recover. Eyes on the road.
So then they raise her and teaches her how to kill and a bunch of things. And she grows up to resent them. Like, you know, why am I stuck like this? No man would ever want me. I look like a fucking child. Fuck you. You know, the whole teen drama thing. She fucks off. Lou goes into a deep, deep depression. But 6 years later, she rocked back up and goes, hi. But at that point, the house is in ruins. Not looking care of each other. The stat's cheating. There's a whole thing. So then Claudia comes back and Louis is so happy to see her. And then she goes, right, Louis, run away with me. You don't need to be like a stat anymore. Fuck the stat. Let's go, babe. Let's go, dad. Let's run away. Let's be free. And Lestat loses his shit. Like, beats the motherfucking god out of Louis. Like, domestic, fucked up house, thrown through the wall. Louis finds out Lestat can fly. Now, he hit this for 20 years and drops him on his fucking head. He's like, broken bone, shattered this, can't see. Horrible. So, this Claudia, being the daughter, got off quite easy. She got a broken leg, so it was just, you know, too bad. But so she looked after her dad and took care of him anytime.
Claudia, hello. I've been calling quite often. I don't know if the operator is passing me through correctly. I bought something from Louis' favorite bookshop. Book of Hours. Extremely rare. 15th century. Silver and gold on the vellum. Palettes of blue and old rose.
No one here wishes to speak with you.
Well, I know he's upstairs. I can see his silhouette. Perhaps we should let him decide if he wants to see me or not.
How's that for an answer?
The stat rocked up the door to say, I'm sorry. This went on for 6 years. For the 6 years that I was trying to get Louis back, he was giving her presents, he was bribing him, he was talking to him, he was trying every fucking trick in the book to get his man back. And this man was like, fuck off. Until he gave his side chick, got her to sing on this album and sent it to Louis. And Louis was like, nah, bitch, this is not on. So Louis breaks into this woman's house and they're in bed together, her and the stat. And the stat's like, yeah, get the fuck out. And so they had.
But in the spring of 1937, one broke through. He had written it himself in the music of the hour. His first composition in 100 years. Rashid, please play the song in question for Mr. Malloy and the doctor. I'm not here. He had engaged a local record company. And when the musicians they hired proved unsatisfactory, he played all the instruments himself.
That's his voice.
Yeah. He pressed only one album. Had the master recordings destroyed. You're listening to an inferior re-recording now. The audacity of it all was matched only by its sincerity. He had made the near-perfect Valentine with one flaw.
Pathetic.
One perfectly premeditated flaw.
6 years of begging. You think a song's gonna get a rise out of me? Did you like it?
This sort of thing?
It's a clear voice. I wanted no obstacle to the lyric.
Write me a song, put your lover's voice on it. What the fuck is wrong with your head?
Maybe you're soaking wet.
I swim fast and I drown. Put some clothes on, get the fuck out.
This is my house.
Do I look like I care?
Let's start.
Leave. You swam the Mississippi to find me.
I hate you.
As you should.
Going like that makes you believe there are only two of you on the planet. Freedom and chastity wrapped in one person.
But there were 3 of you.
Yes. Yes. Rule number 4.
Kill Antoinette.
Antoinette is my own private.
Affair.
She's a child. Interfering in the romantic lives of her parents.
She's coming up on 33.
It's a lick in a promising vampire years.
Maybe, but I'm not your child anymore. That's rule number 5. I'll be your companion, your sister.
It's not as simple as choosing a new family configuration. Now I'm your cousin, now I'm your aunt. I am your maker.
But not my uncle or my daddy. I'm your sister, or that's the door.
Rule number 6.
I know I'm doing this for him. I wouldn't want to confuse you.
Rule number 6. No lies. And that includes lies of exaggeration and of omission. For instance, if you can fly, tell us you can fly.
Says grand proclamations, portentous hooks. Do you think I'm withholding? Come on, ask your questions. I'll answer them.
Did you have anything to do with Paul's death?
No. I would never hurt your brother.
It's just something I always...
Never do.
Who made you?
His name was Magnus.
A whole fight, just beat the crap out of them, but also they had hate sex. So yeah, that sounds about right. And then they come back to the house, and then they have arrangement and talk about things and everything else. So they do that. His dad's still cheating, but they don't know that. And this carries on. Claudia plans to kill Louis. Claudia tells Claudia tells Louis that she's going to kill Lestat, and Louis is like, "Fuck it, let's do it."
Tell us about your first love, Nikki.
Nicholas.
Louis said that you called him Nicky. That's the song you wrote for him.
'Tis.
Do you write songs for all your lovers? I think this one might be better than yours, Louis. Does that mean you loved Nikki more than you love Louis?
Ignore her, Louis. She asks these naughty questions to gain advantage in the game. It won't work.
I ask these questions because I'm trying to understand you better, Lestat.
I played 3 games at once in the Jardin de Luxembourg.
And one of my opponents was Johann Zukertort, who you know, of course, won the Paris Championships of '78, and
Of
who
course, who
later
doesn't
that
know who won the
afternoon
Paris
adjudged
Chess
to a draw.
Championship of '78? My
So
mama taught me
please
that before I
continue
started
with your
crawling.
tedious interrogations. And I once again put you in check.
Did Nicky kill himself like your maker Magnus?
Check.
Or did you kill him like you did Antoinette and how you tried to do with Louis?
Claudia.
Nicky passed on after he and I parted ways. It took me over a century to try again.
But, you know, the plan only works if Louis pretends to be in love with Stat. So Louis falls under the Stat spell again.
Paul had forever ruined Grace's wedding night, and I would not do the same to Claudia on the anniversary of her escape. If I was to join Dante's wood of the self-murdered, it would be another night. And so I endured my way home. Back to the crypt. Back to the undeserving Lestat.
Louis, come. Listen here.
What is it?
Germany's invaded Poland. Tanks rolling through the countryside. Horrors unleashed.
Since when do you care about humanity?
Well, I don't. But to think, our sister, impulsive tot that she is, was on her way to holiday in Europe. I'm so glad she decided the better of it. We'll have to make it up to her stateside somehow. Won't we, Louis? Claudia. Claudia. Claudia.
And they all live together but in joint hatred, all hate each other.
It was my sole duty to distract Lestat. But in his mirrored eyes, the distraction reflected back onto me. And in the dead center of the whispering gallery, I lost the thread to my plotting and fell once more into the well with no bottom. I was his, and he was mine.
Yay!
May I finish this dance?
If you have your sister.
We shouldn't do this.
Too late. I've done it already.
When? Who?
Just now, one of the twins. He'll be dead on his feet in an hour. Wake up!
Oh dear. You broke up the pair.
I know you wanted them both, but Louis couldn't resist.
I'm sorry, my love. I saved one of them for you.
Did you? How generous of you.
Quite drunk, this one? Rosemary. And something else. What is it, my love?
I think it's the gin.
I wasn't talking to you.
Lauren.
She was at the ball tonight. Like one of those girls on the telephone switchboard. Eavesdropping in on things that she shouldn't.
Too late. I've done it already. When? Who? Just now. One of the twins. He'll be dead on his feet in an hour.
She should never have been made, Louis. Look what you did to us. She's corrupted everything. Antoinette will be much more agreeable to our life together.
two parents and their kid, and they're just fucking stuck in a mortal coil. So then Claudia poisons him and fucks him over and slit his throat, and just a big bloody mess. And she's going, Louis, let's burn him, and
I record that you cannot see, but it is real. It is real. I have loved you with all my soul. I'm happy it was you. You're with me.
The blood poured out of him as it might never pour from a human being. All the blood he had filled himself with, he lay now on his back, his eyes staring wildly at the ceiling, the irises dancing from side to side.
Mets-moi dans mon souci. Louis, Louis.
Put me in my coffin, Louis, Louis.
His irises rolled to the top of his head. The whites of his eyes went dim. This horror, it had been Lestat. I stared helplessly at it. The thing lay still. There was no point in lingering.
Louis going, no, he's my fucking maker. Piss off. He's your fucking maker. He is my husband. Like, I ain't gonna kill him. And she's going, no, we have to burn the body. You know, it's the only way that, like, he is dead. He's gone. Out of our lives forever. And Louis goes, no, the fuck not. No, we'll just put him in a trunk, throw it in the garbage, and send him off to the dump. Spoiler warning, he's alive. Like, he was eating rats in the local dump, because the rats are, like, fucking massive, nom nom. So they get the hell out of Dodge. Louis and Claudia, fuck off. She's telling all the story to Daniel. Daniel's got this, having an interview with Louis. Louis in the modern day has got a new assistant. His name is get his name, but he's like little assistant that does everything for him. And then he turns out to be a vampire, but not only any vampire.
Well, isn't that neat and tidy?
There was a ship. We did get on it.
Yeah, I read that, the first 50 pages. Not exactly the adventure of our lives feeling I'm feeling.
It was a traumatic escape.
Yeah, but she didn't say that explicitly. I mean, maybe in some of the pages that got torn out. Well, not torn out exactly, more like with a ruler, but there's a feeling that she hated your guts there for a while. Why is that?
I was haunted by my brother's death, by the abandonment of my sister, by the murder of Lestat.
Murder? What murder? It was an act of mercy. You didn't kill Lestat. You spared him out of some fucked up idea you had about love.
Love? I bled him like a pig and waited for the death rattle.
You were shot point blank by an alderman. You were dropped 1,000 feet and survived. You torched Antoinette just to make sure. Where does the trash go, Louis? You take the trash down to the street, and some guys show up in a truck, and they throw it in the back, and then they drive it out to the middle of nowhere, right? No. They take the trash to the dump. And having lived 2 blocks away from the dump just outside of Fishkill, New York, with my first wife, I can state with authority what else you'll find there. Rats. Big fucking rats. The size of Kevin Durant's sneakers. Enough blood in them to bring back the dead. Especially one in a trunk with locks on the inside. You knew it, Louis. You had to. The biggest rat eater of them all.
The session is over.
How many days in the Islamic year? How many names are there for Allah?
355 and 99.
Why does a 200-pound bouncer pass out after he sucks him off? And you, a wet t-shirt away from 130, doesn't even blink.
I couldn't burn him.
But Claudia could.
No, she couldn't.
She stuck a pen in his neck. She recorded his last words in his own blood. The girl did not have a fucking problem tossing him on the grill, okay?
The sun's coming up.
No.
We have to burn him.
No.
It's the only way we'll know.
No! I said no!
Was it raining, Louis?
She couldn't burn him.
You cursed her into the darkness. You chose Lestat over her time and time again. You don't need a memoir, Louis. You need 100 sessions of EMDR. You know the shit they put soldiers through when they see one of their platoon buddies get blown up in front of them?
You've only heard half the story.
Stop. 144 years of life, and you're still Louis the pimp, paying a whore to sit in a room and talk with you. Because why? You got some story you want to tell the whole world about yourself?
When you hear it, you'll be ashamed. Ashamed of what you say to him now.
Please stop, Rashid.
$10 million. That's my whore number. Career's been over for years. Legacy? That's for board members and assholes and loafers. My daughters aren't even speaking to me anymore, so at least I can leave them some cash. But an honest reckoning? No. This is the same shit that happened in San Francisco.
Not exactly.
How's it any different, Louis?
This time I won't save your life. Louis can sometimes act out. I protect him from himself. Always have. Stopped him that night in San Francisco.
You were there.
You don't remember, do you?
No, I don't remember.
What was that you said about memory? A monster? Was it?
But I saw you standing in the sun.
As we age, the sun loses its power over us. What's a mediocre start to a 514-year-old vampire?
Daniel Malloy, I'd like you to meet the vampire Armand.
Yes!
The love of my life.
Vampire Magnus, so shit hits the van, and then it ends as just, it's not what I expected. It is different from the movie, it is different from the books, but a lot more gayer, and I love it for it. So yeah.